The first time I saw Brynjolf, I knew he'd be a good mark. He might have been hawking miracle cures, but the money he raked in was no joke. The nice clothes, the ease with which he moved through the city and its people, all of it screamed of a fat coin purse. I was a young thief. No home, no family, no one but myself to depend on. I tried waiting around at Honor Hall Orphanage for someone to adopt me, but I realized after a few months that Grelod didn't advertise that we needed homes. Apparently, the Jarl paid her a stipend based on how many children were in her care, and word never seemed to get out about the need for families. That's when I realized I couldn't count on anyone else to take care of me. So I left, snuck out in the middle of the night and hid in the outskirts of the city. I knew I'd need to steal to survive, so I resorted to picking travelers' pockets for gold and looting trade caravans for supplies. I taught myself how to make snares and managed to catch a few small animals. I don't remember how much time had passed, but when I went back to Riften, I noticed new faces at the orphanage. I wouldn't be missed. Occasionally, as I slipped through the shadows, I'd see a member of the Thieves Guild at work. I knew that the Thieves Guild was established in the city and that membership had its privileges. However, I preferred to keep all of what I stole. I didn't need the guild, but I did need to stay out of their way, so I kept my head down and my eye on the prize. Between avoiding the guild and avoiding the guards, I became a very good thief. I watched Brynjolf for a week, making note of his habits. During the day, he worked in the market, then packed up around dusk and left for the Bee and Barb. A couple of nights he spent some time at the Temple of Mara, and then took a short stroll through the Merchants' District before going to the inn. I decided the best time to make a grab would be as he left the temple. In the evening's darkness, I'd be gone before he realized his coin purse was missing. The circumstances would be perfect. As Brynjolf crossed the bridge, the sound of his coin purse jingling quietly was music to my ears. He entered the Temple of Mara, and I began to wait. While Brynjolf was in the temple, I saw a man in what looked like the livery of the Thieves Guild, but black instead of the usual brown. I crouched farther into the shadows to avoid drawing attention to myself. I couldn't help but wonder if he had a target inside. It better not have been Brynjolf, I thought to myself. The man headed towards the small cemetery nearby. Not long after this, Brynjolf finally emerged, looking tired. A deep sigh escaped him, then he descended the stairs, humming softly to himself. He turned and headed towards the Merchants' District. I followed closely behind, avoiding the attention of the guards. Once he passed the door to Riftweald Manor, I knew it was my best chance to make the grab. I reached my hand out to snatch the coin purse, grinning in spite of myself. Suddenly a hand clamped down on my wrist and another hand dug into my shoulder. "You're no sneak thief, boy," a gruff voice said in my ear. I recognized the gloves on the hand that gripped my wrist. I immediately started to struggle with the person holding me. "Easy, lad," Brynjolf's voice cut through the scuffle. "Let's not attract unwanted attention."
"Let me go,"
I hissed.
"Not till we have a little talk."
The man steered me into a nearby alley between two houses. Now my attention was split between Brynjolf and the man I had seen leaving the Temple of Mara. I turned and slipped a dagger from my belt. The lure of gold had led me into a trap. I kept an eye on both men, my gaze flitting from one to the other. The gruff voice chuckled.
"Well now, looks like we've got a fighter on our hands."
"Aye, and it's a good thing too, Delvin," said Brynjolf. "I was hoping he'd have some redeeming factor." Did the Thieves Guild always toy with their enemies? At least the Dark Brotherhood usually went for a swift kill, assassin's whims aside.
"Look, I'm just trying to make your way in this cold-hard world,"
Delvin sneered.
"Earn some coin. Show the guild that you can be a thief without being an hired man."
His voice dripped with sarcasm and a hint of irritation. My temper was glimmering to a flare.
"What I steal is mine. I do the work, so I keep the loot."
"Oh, is that right?" Delvin said. He had to be part of the guild's leadership since he took me by surprise. I was good at what I did, and yet here I was, caught in their trap. Delvin gave me a look of appraisal.
"You're not bad, but you've got a lot to learn,"
he said, a trace of admiration in his voice now.
"I think we can make you better. That is, if Brynjolf still wants you in the guild." "I don't want to be part of your guild,"
I said in a voice braver than I felt. Independence was the one thing I could always count on to survive, even when I was at Honor Hall. It was the one thing that kept me alive. Delvin stepped forward.
"The guild could use your talents, and we could make you a better thief than you ever thought of being. Not to mention the gold that could flow through your fingertips."
"Right now, you still need the shadows in the hope that you'll not get caught," Brynjolf said. "If you'll notice, I can hide in plain sight to do my work."
We can teach you as well. He paused. But we don't work with independent agents, lad.
Thick silence descended. I didn't want to be a part of the guild, but with a shaken confidence I'd be unable to be a good thief in Riften, and probably anywhere else in Skyrim. Maybe even all of Tamriel. This was a problem. Brynjolf broke the silence.
I offer you an invitation. I've seen your work, and I know you're good. But I also know you could be better. The coin is good, and the jobs are always there. You pay a small percentage of what you steal, that's true, but the benefits are much better than you realize.
He'd moved closer to me during this speech, and I looked up at his face. Even in the darkness, I saw both a genuine friendliness and a stern honesty.
The guild is offering you a chance, lad. If I were you, I'd take it.
Don't know that I have much of a choice.
Delvin laughed.
Well now, let's see if we can make you into half as good a thief as I am.
He winked at Brynjolf, then looked down at me with a wry smile.
But you've got to get to the Ragged Flagon first.
Aye, Brynjolf said.
If you make it through the rat way alive, then we can discuss your future.
Of course there was a catch. Survive the rat way and you're in. I wondered if they made the same requirement for everyone, or just those that got caught thieving outside of the guild. We walked out of the alley and stopped at the top of the stairs leading down to the canal.
This is as far as we go, Delvin said. And if you really have the potential Brynjolf thinks you do, then you'll make it through the rat way in one piece.
He laughed.
You might be a little worse for wear, but alive is better than dead any day.
Brynjolf put a hand on my shoulder.
Good luck, lad.
Then they turned and went across the bridge towards the Bee and Barb. I turned my attention from the two men and started down the stairs, continuing around towards the entrance to the ratway. 2 torches flanked a metal gate, and beyond the iron bars I could see a door. I touched the gate and it creaked open. It figured. Why make someone pick the lock? The real test was the ratway itself. I looked up at Honor Hall Orphanage, the sight of the building bringing back not only old memories but old scars. Was it only a few months ago I'd been an orphan searching for a home? Should I give up thieving and go back? I wondered if I was just exchanging one cage for another by joining the guild. Then again, I didn't have much choice. I didn't want to go back. Death or guild membership it was then. I closed the gate behind me and opened the door into the ratway. I gave my eyes time to adjust to the semi-darkness and considered what I might face. Apart from any humans that lived there, I was sure I'd run into plenty of skeevers. I took a deep breath of the fetid air and started picking out a path. After maneuvering through a series of archways and tunnels, sneaking past the denizens of the ratway and killing skeevers, I discovered a doorway lit by low-burning torches at the end of a small flight of steps. I opened the door and entered a large chamber. Laughter echoed faintly across the water and open space. I crept around the edge of the pool and noticed a sign that read, Ragged Flagon. I had made it.
You recruited a boy? And sent him through the ratway on his own? That's bold, even for you,
a woman's voice said.
You haven't seen him, Tanelia,
I heard Brynjolf say.
He can make it. In some ways he's older than he seems.
I decided I was done with sneaking for the night. For once, I wanted someone to know I was there. I saw Delvin, who grinned and nodded towards me.
Speaking of the boy...
Brynjolf turned around, and I would have sworn that his eyes sparkled.
What's your name, lad?
Garrett.
Welcome, young Garrett, to the Ragged Flagon.